Having lived in California for more than 35 years, I can tell you that the levels of incompetence, the levels of shrugging their shoulders, it's just at epic levels out there. I mean, it seems like the motto of the state used to be Eureka, which, as I'm sure all you Latin aficionados out there know to mean, I found it. Now I think the motto of the state is, well, there's not much we can do about that, Colin. I mean, I'm thinking of, when I used to go visit my friends in the Bay Area, sometimes I would drive up. And it's really weird, when you get to the middle of the state, all of a sudden, it's like some kind of ghost house, ghost farm up there. You see all these trees and orchards and fallow farmland that has been abandoned because some judge said we have to save this tiny little fish in Northern California, so we got to turn the water off from the river that watered these farms that were once among the most productive in the world. Now they're just sitting there dying, empty, vacant in a really eerie way. When you ask, well, what's up with that? People just look at you, shrug their shoulders, and they say, well, there's nothing we can do about that, Colin. In San Francisco, people sleeping on the streets, under bridges, in parks, leaving human waste, leaving trash. It's a thing now. When you ask, well, why can't we do something about that? They look at you and say, Colin, there's nothing we can do about that. When you hear about people sitting in traffic for 2 hours each way to and from work, and people say, well, why can't we do something about this ridiculous level of traffic congestion? They look at you and say, well, there's not much we can do about that, Colin. Just the other day, they released a video that's probably almost a year and a half old now. It's the video of 40 to 60 people rampaging through a BART station, beating the hell out of some white BART riders, and running away, laughing. People said, well, listen, you guys have hundreds and hundreds of cameras all over your stations, all over your trains. Why don't you release the videos? I will never forget this. This is the Holy Grail. The vice president of BART wrote a letter to the board of directors saying, well, we're not going to release the videos because that would embarrass the black people who are committing the crimes. And so when you say, why can't we do something about crime on BART? Why can't we release the videos? Everybody shrugs their shoulders and go, well, there's not much we can do about that, Colin. The latest example of the not much we can do about that comes at the Apple stores all over California. They're all being targeted for the fellas to go in, just a bunch of fellas go in, grab, cut the cord, run out the door, everybody laughing, ha, ha, ha. But it's not just the Apple stores, right? It's the coffee shops, it's the kids on college campuses. The fellas run in, grab the computers, run out, and it's all over with. Bing, bam, boom. And you say, well, why can't we do something about that? And the people look at you and go, well, there's not much we can do about that, Colin. And California, right now they're in a place where they're releasing violent criminals early. And so, the prospect, even if they catch some of these people who are, that's what we're going to see now, even if they catch some of these people who are in the computer stealing business, the chances of them being taken off the street for anything more than a night or two are very slim because everybody knows there's not much we can do about that. Let's get to the video.
KTVU's Aliana Gomez is live in Walnut Creek. And Aliana, you're learning this investigation is still in connection with a rash of thefts at Apple stores across the Bay Area. Some of the stores have been targeted multiple times. KTVU's Aliana Gomez is live in Walnut Creek. And Aliana, you're learning this investigation is still developing and is now being taken over by the State Department of Justice. That's exactly right, Julie. And local law enforcement agencies have been reluctant to speak to me about these arrests or this case at all because the Department of Justice is investigating. They're calling it an ongoing investigation with more information to come very soon. But while we're not learning much from them, we are getting information from sources saying that these arrests are just the tipping point and that more arrests are coming very soon. One store after another, hit by thieves with the same MO. Dressed in dark clothing, several men run in, snatch any Apple device in sight, and take off, all while customers, employees, and even security stand by and watch. A scenario that played out once again Tuesday afternoon at the Apple store in Emeryville, that location's fourth robbery in 1 month.
We obviously need to step up prevention, and we need to apprehend the people who are engaged in this repetitive crime.
Just a couple hours later, 8 suspects were arrested. One is a juvenile and hasn't been named. The others are identified as 23-year-old Leo Smith, 19-year-old Joshua Cole, 19-year-old Tay Davis, 18-year-old Cody Stewart, 19-year-old Naham Yamani, 21-year-old Jeremiah Hank, and Antoine Johnson is spending his 20th birthday inside the Santa Rita jail. All are charged with grand theft. Davis is facing additional charges for possessing firearms. Sources tell me these suspects could be linked to 45 snatch-and-go thefts at Apple stores and other thefts that span across the state. Local law enforcement and government officials all confirmed the arrests, but won't release any further details.
We are aware of the arrests, and we are working on the situation, but I have no comment on that at this time.
Sources tell me more arrests are coming as the Department of Justice vigorously works to bring down an organized crime ring. Now, one thing that law enforcement and local government officials want to stress is that these robberies have been happening all over the Bay Area, but no one has been injured. So they're really just going in, taking what they need, and leaving. So they're saying that no one's life is in danger. No one should be threatened by any of this, and they shouldn't feel unsafe going to some of these Apple Store locations. Now, we are outside of the Apple Store in Walnut Creek. I want to give you an idea here of what it looks like. You can see a security guard beyond that barrier. He's standing outside, keeping an eye on things at the new Apple Store. It's one of the locations that have been hit recently. So there are security guards inside and outside of the stores keeping an eye on things. And of course, they're hoping, along with Apple, that these suspects are all arrested very soon. And
isn't that amazing? Just dozens and dozens of examples of this over the last couple months. We've been documenting it here a lot. It's a black thing. Well, why can't we stop this black criminality and violence? Why can't we stop that? Can't we put people in prison for doing this kind of organized criminal behavior? And they look at you and you know what they're going to say. Not much we can do about that, Colin. Because putting black people in prison for stealing computers over and over and over and over and over again, that makes a lot of black kids angry.